Well, Clint, let's go see what Mike has to say about what we got.
All right.
I'm really excited to show him what we found and see what he has to say about it and tell him what Dr. Haynes had to say about it. And yeah, so let's go talk to him.
All right. Great. Hey, Mike.
Hey! Nice to see you guys again.
Nice to see you again.
You seem to have a problem with the handshakes.
Yeah.
So, I got some evidence in here I'd like to show you.
Alright.
You want to come up here a bit closer?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, well, this is a bag of stuff we collected from our investigation, and I'm really eager to show you what we got here.
Alright.
Alright, so first things first, I would like to tell you that we did find a mound of layers, actually, of what looked like some kind of hair or dust mixed with hair. We didn't really know what that was. So I took it to my friend and mentor, Dr. Haynes, and he said he concluded that it was most likely from a cat or rat, probably, because it could have, an animal like that could have climbed up onto the frame, the wood frame we found it on, and could have left dirt and hair over time. So we don't really think that was anything abnormal or unnatural.
Alright.
Yeah, and then we found another thing. We also found a different hair. It was very interesting. It had these stripes on it, and then these little tiny, what looked like tiny hairs attached to it. But upon closer inspection, Dr. Haynes said, and I, with him, concluded that most likely the hair came from some kind of cat. The hairs could have been a pattern of a striped pattern of a cat, and the little lint on it that we saw, the little hairs that was attached to it, we thought could have been lint or dust that had gotten on the cat's hair over time, and we found it in a place where we thought a cat could have been climbing. So we ruled that one out as probably not really something from the wood here. Now that said, I'd like to show you what we actually do got and what we can't really explain.
Alright. Here she is.
First of all, we got this. Wait. Got that?
Yeah.
This is what we believe is some kind of hand or claw print. I really gotta say, me and Dr. Haynes both could not really identify it. What we did think was interesting was that this looks like some kind of hoof print. So, what we think is this creature might have some kind of hoofs on the end of its hands, or legs, like feet, and that could be why these prints look like hoofs. So that was just a theory, we don't know for sure, but it really did prove interesting because a lot of what we found looked like kind of a hoof print when we compared it to the deer and everything, the deer samples. So yeah, it was just really interesting. I honestly can't tell you what this is, neither could Dr. Haynes. We really honestly don't know what this was. We found a couple of birds that look similar to it. Could maybe have been from some kind of species of bird, but we really don't know of any that really matched this particular look. So yeah, this was really interesting. I gotta say, I don't know what this was. This really could be from that creature. Then, show us what we got here. Another thing we got here was this claw.
Whoa.
We found this lodged actually. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Got that, yeah. All right.
We found this lodged actually in some wood planks, if I remember correctly, and we found some chunks missing off the wood that it was lodged in. So we think that this creature might have been grabbing on whatever was doing this. Whatever this claw.
Might explain where you actually saw it in wherever you were investigating.
We were investigating out in your garage.
Alright?
Yeah, so, we found this, lodged in the wood, as I said, and where there were some chunks missing off the wood, too. So we think that whatever this was, if this was the wood eater, it could have been grabbing onto these wood planks while eating them, and that could explain the missing chunks and the fact that this claw is missing.
Was it near the back of the garage?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's actually kind of where I saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
That's a pretty interesting factor.
We did think that this claw did match, what could maybe have been some kind of lizard species because the sample we tested against really did look like a lizard claw. But Dr. Haynes said, that when we've gone further analysis, that the thing about it is that we don't really know why lizards would have been climbing wood planks. So we can't really say it's a lizard for sure. But so it's certainly interesting. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily lean towards the wood eater absolutely with this one, but it's a 50-50 chance. So. And then I got one more thing I'd like to show you.
Alright. Did whoever you're talking to, Dr. Haynes, am I right?
Yes, Dr. Haynes.
Did he say anything? Perhaps say anything about the slime stuff?
Oh yes, we talked about that. We weren't able to identify that very well. The thing is, we did find a area of what looked like muddy water, maybe, that was sitting above ground, and well, not above ground. I don't do it. No, it wasn't floating. It was essentially just sitting on the pavement in your garage, and it was like really muddy, not much really water, mostly mud. But the area it was at was also where we found some wood. So we really thought this may have been some kind of area where it was essentially dwelling, maybe like a dwelling place, a habitat area. And we think that as for the residue, we said that maybe whatever it was could have gotten some of that mud on it, and maybe you could track that onto the handprint, or the claw. But we don't know for sure because Dr. Haynes said it wasn't very likely because it didn't really match. It didn't really look like water from what we saw with mud. So we really can't explain the residue. I honestly can't say we really know the answer to that. But
my personal opinion on that was maybe he said this thing is like had branches and stuff on that. Maybe it was possibly like some sort of sap.
True. That's
Yeah.
actually interesting.
That's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that.
The last thing I'd like to show you here was this footprint we collected.
I'll get that on here.
We found this in I can't remember exactly what was this. Claim, was this in the garage or the other area?
I think it was. Wait, let's see. I think it was in the garage.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We found this in your garage. We only found one, interestingly. So me and Dr. Haynes were talking about it, and I concluded that I made a theory that this creature there may have only been one footprint because this creature crawled onto the wood that it was eating. That's why we might have found the claw lodged into the wood because it could have been climbing on this wood, and that why maybe would explain why there's only one footprint because it wasn't crawling on the ground. So that would explain that if that's true. We don't know anything really about the residue. If this is probably the same residue that was found on the handprint, so I can't really say I know for certain what it is because I really don't. But it was really interesting. We matched it up with some bird footprints. It could maybe have been some kind of bird because the ones we matched it to did look similar, but I don't really know of any reason how a bird that had a foot belt like this would be in your garage why it would have went in your garage or how it would have gotten there really. And it just didn't really match up with the birds too well with that theory.
Yeah, I don't have any pet birds, and the only birds I see around here are, the normal ones.
Another interesting thing about this is this is another one that looks similar to a hoof print. So we really just find that interesting. We're wondering if there's any chance this thing has hooves or whatnot. We don't really know for sure, but it does pose an interesting theory as to why maybe these all look like hooves. So that's actually about all we got. As for a conclusion, I think. Yeah.
The chair leg, remember?
Oh, the chair leg. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I believe there was something else we were asking about.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was some kind of scratches, but I can't quite recall what it was. So we can just ask about the leg.
We found a busted. What was it? A stool?
Yeah.
There was a stool in your garage, and there was a chair leg busted off of it. I don't know if it maybe got dropped or if you know anything about why it would be busted off or.
No. Actually, stored that in there because I was gonna try to find possibly something I could do with because I actually thought it looked pretty good. Maybe I could put it somewhere. After I cleared some space, maybe. So that it has no reason to be broken.
Oh, all right. Well, it was busted. There was a leg busted off.
That's interesting.
We don't really know why it would be busted off, but
I mean, I do have some wild cats back there. And they could possibly have snapped it off.
Yeah. The only thing is, I would think that if the cats did bust it off, they probably would have knocked it off, and then it would be on the ground, and we found it on a shelf.
Yeah, it wasn't there. We checked. So
what?
I said, yeah, it wasn't anywhere around there. We checked.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's true.
I really can't explain it. I mean, I don't know if maybe it just eventually just over time maybe it wasn't very strong or somehow I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really think it would fall off itself over time even really, but I don't know. didn't. I didn't see any signs from really old age that would cause it to deteriorate or anything. It just was clearly busted off, snapped off, right, Clint?
Yeah.
So I can't really explain that. That's interesting. But yeah.
Were the scratches possibly on that metal? I know, the metal in the middle of it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's probably natural.
you know about that?
It was on there since I got it.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, that was on there since I got it. I put it back there because I was thinking maybe I could, get that out. Maybe see if I could cover it, and I could turn that into something pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so well, that's ruled out then.
Alright, yeah. Who found that?
I think I did.
Well, anyways, as for a conclusion on whether or not this thing exists, I think me, Klein, and Sanders can all agree, as well as Dr. Haynes, that this creature, we can't say it does exist for certain, based on the fact that all the evidence was really inconclusive and there were theories for it, but not anything definite. So, I think everyone would agree that it's mostly a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's kind of 50-50. Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Well, if you have any problems, if you think it's dangerous, just call us again. We'll be happy to come out and take another look, see if we can find anything else for it.
Yeah, of course.
So far it doesn't seem to be doing you any harm so far, and if it does, as I said, just give us a call.
We'll get yours.
It's just a 50-50 chance. I can't say it does, I can't say it doesn't.
Thanks.
So, yeah, it was great talking to you. Nice talking to you again, man. We'll see you later, and, well...
Feel free to give that call if you need.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you.
See you later, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Feel free to call
of
us
course.
if you need to.
All right.
We'll tell Sanders
Have a
you
lot of
said bye.
All right.
We'll tell Sanders you said bye.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
We had a lot of
no,
fun.
bye.
So, thanks for calling us out.
No
Thanks.
problem.
All right, well, let's get moving.
Yeah. I think
No.
that's a pretty good investigation.
Yeah, another one down. Let's get back to the car.